A class is in session. Just had to start off the vibes with some vibes. So now we finna get into the lessons. So I'm gonna start off with a biblical reference. So this right here is St. John 1:1. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. St. John 1:1. So it's a lot in that, but I'm going to go straight to the word in the dictionary. Because right now I want to basically reference some stuff, and then we could build a little bit. I'm going to make this a 30-minute session, 30-minute class, a little introduction class. So make sure I put my little timer. Really, I don't need a timer. I'm just going to be on my... We Gucci. So, about to define the word, because it gets deep. Like I said, this first class is called Word Magic. So, let's go to the word. So, honestly, I'm not going to read every single thing, because this is one of them type of dictionaries. You feel me? This is actually the Webster's New Collegiate Dictionary. I think it was published in like the 70s. So yeah, this is the codex that we're dealing with today. So certain things that I definitely want to point out, or address. So let's see, word. Talk, discourse, or putting one's feelings into talk. The text of a vocal, musical composition, a brief remark or conversation, a speech or sound, or series of speech sounds that symbolizes and communicates a meaning without being divisible into smaller units capable of independent use. So let me run that one back. A speech sound, or a series of speech sounds that symbolizes and communicates a meaning without being divisible into smaller units capable of independent use. We're defining the word. The entire set of linguistic forms produced by a single base with various inflectional elements without change in the part of speech elements. A written or printed character or combination of characters representing a spoken word. And here's where we get a little deeper. A combination of electrical or magnetic impulses conveying a quantum information. Okay, let's run that back. A combination of electrical or magnetic impulses conveying a quantum of information in communication and computer work. Then also says order, command, logos, gospel, the expressed or manifested mind and will of God. That kind of connects to St. John 1:1. How it says in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Because, as it's defined in this dictionary, word would be the word would be the expressed or manifested mind and will of God. So now that we know what word means, let's dive into another word. So, what's the next word do I want to dive into? Spell. About to go into the word spell now. Y'all here with me? What is it? Hey, we diving in, man. Just building on this education. Gotta unlearn to relearn, man. It's time to break free. Break free. Break free. And we're at the next word. Spell. So, spell, noun. Talk, tell. Greek. A spoken word or form of words held to have magic power. Right off the back. We're going to run that back. A spoken word or form of words held to have magic power. Incantation. You can look that up on your own. Incantation. A state of enchantment. I might look up enchantment later if we have some time. Or enchant. A strong, compelling influence or attraction. So this is a spell. That just made me think of music, but I'm moving too fast. So let me get back into here now. Spell, verb tense. So that was the noun tense. This is the verb tense. It says to put under a spell, bewitch. It says to read slowly and with difficulty, to find out by study, to come to understand, to present in detail, make comprehensible by careful elaboration, to name the letters of in order, or to print the letters of in order, to make up, parentheses, a word, to add up to. So these are different ways you can use the word, or not. Well, these are different ways that spell is used in verb tense, to spell up to things. Archaic, it says a shift of workers, one's turn at work. So when you go to work, you're actually going for a spell. You're spelling. Wait, hold up. This is now. So now, hold on. I'm here with y'all learning too. It says noun, another one. This is the archaic meaning of spell. A shift of workers, one's turn at work. A period spent in a job or occupation. Wow. So this is actually talking about how long you've been at that job. Is how long you've been in the spell at that job. That's deep. That was spell. So now we're going to go to the word magic. Because this is word magic class. I just wanted to go to the word spell because it's not what they've been telling us. It's deeper than that. And there's a whole lot more energy going on that you need to now know how to, or know what's going on first, and then know, how and what to deal with. So now we're going to the word magic. Giving y'all this information, then I'm going to build on it after. Magic. Okay, so magic now. Like I said, I'm kind of skimming through things because I don't want to really put too much on this, on these plates. This is the first class, and it's the tip of the iceberg, man. It's a lot. So magic. It says the use of means, parentheses, as charms or spells, there go that word spell, believed to have supernatural power over natural forces. Magic rites or incantations. An extraordinary power or influence seemingly from a supernatural force. Something that seems to cast a spell, that's magic. The art of producing illusions by the sleight of hand. Magic, the adjective of or relating to magic. Having seemingly supernatural powers or qualities. Giving feeling of enchantment. So I'm gonna just go ahead and go to this word enchantment because why not? It came up again. Cause it's deep, man. It's deep. I'm just breaking some stuff down right now. Well, not breaking some stuff. I ain't broken that down yet. I'm re-educating us based on, how things have already been programmed. They've been programmed since the beginning of its inception. I guess the English language or magic with the English language. Enchant. Okay, enchant. I just want to mention this real quick. It says something about with the etymology. I think this is Middle English enchanting from Middle French enchanter, from Latin encanter, from and then canter, or cantare, to sing, more at chant. So we're dealing with chant. That's music. Music is a lot of chants. To influence by charms or and enchant. So we're still on the word enchant. It says to influence by charms and incantation, bewitch, to attract and move deeply, rouse to aesthetic asthma. Let's breathe. Enchant, to attract and move deeply, rouse to ecstatic admiration. So it has to do with attracting, but in a magical way. Like you don't even know that you're attracted to it because it's magic going on. It's a spell going on. Feel me? It's some work going on that you don't even know that's going against you and your energy. So now I think I'm done with that. So let's get into how KYRE Deshaun feels about all this. So basically, let me take some water real quick. Life. Alright, so at this point, this is God, Chief KYRE Deshaun, or Chief God KYRE Deshaun, whichever. These are all just word placements. These are all just energy holders for what I represent. So at this point, be mindful of the words that I use, because I am that I am, and this God thing ain't no joke. So for me, side note, we will be discussing God and other things in future classes, or the word, or the idea, the conception. Just gonna break down. We're gonna go into this. I consider myself to be a trualist, where I study the truth about what they say is real, and I guess I'm the bringer of trualism. So, feel me? I'm gonna build these different words, but for me at this point, I can explain in my creative zone, God is the gift of divinity. Feel me? It's the gift of doing. It also says in the Bible, biblical reference, which is a spiritual science book, basically a metaphysical book, because things go beyond what you read in 3D and physical. That's what meta means, beyond. So just in case that was a new word or unfamiliar word to you, metaphysical, beyond the physical, beyond the five senses, I guess you could say, So it says in the Bible how, well, the scripture goes, for those who do not know love, do not know God, because God is love. So for me, God is an energy, and it's the highest, the most powerful energy that you can represent, because it also speaks that, you feel me, if you consider yourself to be a child of God, then you are a God. Little God, you're not the God, but you represent the God, as I, KYRE to shine. Which brings it back to the whole thing is, when it comes to these words that we use in this modern timeline, and this, I call this the New World Matrix, because there are many matrices. Feel me? Matrices means program, or the etymology of it is womb. So every woman is a matrix, has their own matrix, their own reality, their own programming. But what we've gotten out of control with is our mind. So now we're under someone else's spell, as far as now we're living in someone else's reality and giving energy and life to someone else's reality. I could say the black and white reality, because that would be like the title of what I may be talking about, if I were to put a title to it. Because the whole thing is, we weren't black and white in ancient times. And what I mean by that is, we weren't referring to ourselves as black or white. We weren't referring to ourselves as colors. We were more referring to ourselves by the nations that we represented. And the families that we represented. Feel me? The empires that we built and represented. So when it came to these great spells that were binded on us, and that we fell under, we started to lose all our powers as we gave it to them, or as we empowered their God. And I say their God because we're talking about this black and white world, and how it's not the real world. It is basically way out of alignment with ancient times, and with how we were, where we were when we were kings and queens, before this whole before the New World Order. Point blank period. Before the New World Matrix became a full manifestation. So the thing about these words, back to what I'm saying, and the spelling and everything, you have to be mindful of the words that you invoke yourself into, the energy that you represent, or the energy that you use or let be used by you. It really comes down to realizing that, even to think about your name and how that energy hosts its own, the energy of your name hosts its own vibration, that I would say that creates a certain vibration and frequency that you can embody, you can personify. That's why when you change your name, sometimes it's a liberating thing, or you feel like you're shifting into a different form, because you're actually shifting into a different vibration. You're actually shifting into a different energy. But it all comes from source. It all comes from creation. So the fact that, we are representations of source and creation, we can do just that. We can create. But our best creations will come from source. Feel me? Because we represent source. So back to these words and what I'm saying, and this whole black and white reality and all these different things. I'm gonna just break it down like this to give you a prime example. If you look like me, right, you know, and you would consider yourself to be black, you have to understand that your skin is not black, number one. So it's kind of ignorant to say this factually, you know. That's not a shot because we were programmed. We were programmed, like, you know, we were stripped as far as being the original people of Earth, you know, the dark-skinned people, the natives of America, you know, the original children of the sun. Feel me? Black in their matrix means dead. And you can look it up by looking up Black's Law Dictionary definition of black, which I'll save you a little time. And it says that black implies civiliter mortuus. So black represents civiliter mortuus. Civiliter mortuus is Latin for civilly dead. Because the whole thing is, nations uphold civil rights. What nation do black people represent besides a slave system that they were assimilated and basically reborn into? Because there's no place called black. That's the whole idea. Now, if you were born in America, you're an American. If I have a little time, I think I may have a little time. Let me see. I don't even feel like doing all that. If you go to look up 1828, Webster's definition of American, you'll see where we went from the ancient world to this new world matrix, this new world program. Feel me? This new world system. You know, the black and white world. Or if you're white, it's all right. And if you're black, you're shit out of luck, buddy. But here's the thing. Like I say, it's all energy. It's all vibrations. Feel me? Energy cannot die. It just transforms. So what I say, if you're black, stop calling yourself black. You can become what you were before you were black. One thing that they called dark-skinned people historically, feel me, in ancient times and prehistorically, before the black, without black, before the color conception, before we had a type of people that we had to say were different from us, you feel me, they called us Moors. I say us because I represent a stream of this bloodline, of this Moorish bloodline. For me, simply put, the Moor is also the multinational black man, quote unquote, the multinational dark-skinned native. Feel me? Because when you come to realize, as children of the sun, we're all brothers and sisters. So we share this planet as our home. So I may be born in America, but I have lineage in other countries and other continents. Feel me? Historically, and from just the branches of the family tree, you know, spreading to all parts of the earth. More, right? It's basically, that's for another class. Just kidding. It is for another class, but I'm gonna put it just like this. For me, I'm big on playing with creating words, but in a multi-dimensional way. And what I mean is, I like to have multiple meanings. I like to make acronyms out of words. So more, M-O-O-R. The melanated original ordained rulers. Look up the Moors. I give you some movie reference points, 3 of them. Well, 2 of them, because the third one I don't know the name of it, but Sidney Poitier, who recently transitioned and became an ancestor, he was in that movie, The Long Ship or something like that. But the other 2 examples, Black Knight with Martin Lawrence, and Robin Hood, the 1990s version with Morgan Freeman. He played him more. And if you're really interested in this, dive in. Just go to YouTube and look up Morgan Freeman Moore, M-O-O-R. And he'll speak about a little bit of something that I'm talking about. And you can dive from there. So, that was me breaking a little bit of these words down and really getting you back into the idea that you cast spells with the energy and the words that you use. And one of the major ways, the major examples, is by calling yourself black, because now you are enrolling yourself and submitting yourself into a reality that was not created for your greatest good. It was not created for your greatest service. It was actually created to make you a battery. Nonetheless, because now you're stepping out of your true self into a simulated version of you feel me, that you didn't program, but we would say your enemy programmed, feel me, our lower selves outside of us programmed, and now you're living that reality, which is ultimately for them, because now you're a slave in their system, and you're under these spells, aka these long periods of working at these jobs. They done woke me up. I didn't know these some of these definitions, because I skimmed through before I started this. I did my notes, but some of these things we definitely learned today, like me and my reflections. I think that's cool little 30 minutes coming around. We got like 3 minutes left when I look at, from 5:55 to 6:29. It's 6:26 right now. I think my next class, I'm going to probably build on the word God, the word more, because this is just word magic. Feel me? I got 4 other subjects that I'm set to provide information for, and have classes on, and reteach us as we relearn, so we can win all over again. We already won, so we just gotta align to that reality. And that's what they got us under these spells for, to keep us from. But, know yourself, research, evolve. That's KYRE. That's what I'm here for. And, they say the truth sets you free. They also say the truth hurt, but no pain, no gain. It's all about breaking free, baby. Bow. And that's love. Peace and love, y'all. It's Lomos. And, it's time to stay up. Stay up by all means necessary. Yeah.